मेरो त स्ट्यान्ड जान्छ आज मेरो यहाँ ल तपाईँले पनि उठाउनु भयो के हुन्छ तपाईँ यहाँबाट भन्दा आफ्नो
Very good morning. Honorable Minister for Labour, Employment and Social Security, Honorable Gokarna, Honorable Minister for Human Resources of Government of Malaysia, His Excellency Kulasegaran, respected Secretary, Ministry of Labour, Employment and Social Security, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I feel honored to extend a warm welcome to Honorable Minister and all the participants to the signing ceremony of memorandum of understanding between the Government of Nepal and the Government of Malaysia. It gives me an immense pleasure to state that both the governments have agreed to sign memorandum of understanding on recruitment, employment and repatriation of workers. Now, without further delay, may I take this opportunity to request Honorable Gokarna Bista, Honorable Minister for Labour, Employment and Social Security, and His Excellency Kulasegaran, Honorable Minister for Human Resources, Government of Malaysia, to sign the MOU and extend the signed document to each other. Thank you. I would like to express sincere gratitude to the Honorable Minister. Thank you very much, sir. Now, I would like to request the Honorable Minister and all the participants to move towards the Bhaktapur Hall for the press meeting. Kulasegaran, Honorable Minister for Human Resources of the Government of Malaysia, to deliver his remarks.
Thank you. Your Excellency, Mr. Gokarna Bista, Minister of Labour, Employment and Social Security of Nepal, members of the delegation of Nepal and Malaysia, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, a very pleasant morning to all of you. Namaste. The Government of Malaysia on the 26th of October has agreed to the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, between the Government of Malaysia and the Government of Nepal on the recruitment, employment and repatriation of general workers. The objectives of the MOU are to ensure the process of recruitment, employment and repatriation shall be managed in order and protected under the labour laws in Malaysia. The MOU is in line with the principles set out the International Labour Organization (ILO) and also is in accordance to the existing national legislation and standardized under with the MOU signed with other countries. As of today, the Government of Malaysia has signed MOU with 9 source countries such as Sri Lanka, Vietnam, Thailand, Pakistan, India, People's Republic of Bangladesh, Republic of Indonesia, Cambodia, and your good country, where we have signed two MOUs for the informal sector, domestic workers, with Republic of Indonesia and Cambodia. Besides that, the purpose of having the MOU is to avoid any forced labor elements and trafficking in person activities. this agreement will also improve the diplomatic relationship with the both countries. The positive elements of the proposed MOU are as follows. Number one, the contract of employment. Establish a standard contract of employment which stipulates terms and conditions of employment, comprises of payment of wages through bank account, entitlement of holidays and rest days, mandatory responsibility to the employers to provide accommodation with basic amenities and other terms which is in accordance to the labor laws in Malaysia. The contract of employment will be signed by the employer in Malaysia and the workers in Nepal. And finally, this contract of employment will be translated to the Nepali language in order to help the worker to understand the terms and conditions of the contract before agreeing to work in Malaysia. The employer is allowed to recruit the worker through the licensed Malaysian recruitment agency MRA. The MRA shall only conduct the business of recruitment with the licensed Nepal recruitment agency NRA and vice versa. The employer shall not keep or hold on to the passport on behalf of the worker except on special circumstances, namely on when their medical examination is done, application for visit pass, temporary employment, application for foreign workers identity card, what we call the I-KAD, and renewal of visit pass, temporary employment. The passport shall be returned to the worker upon completion of these due processes. Repatriation mechanism. Repatriation mechanism which comprises circumstances of repatriation and settlement of outstanding wages before the repatriation. The Ministry of Human Resources, as a ministry responsible for the rights and welfare of workers, always taking proactive steps to ensure that all workers receive equal protection in terms of the rights and welfare as stipulated under the Malaysian labour laws such as the Employment Act, the Industrial Relations Act, the National Wages Consultative Council Act, the Workers' Minimum Standard of Housing and Amenities Act, and the Anti-Trafficking in Persons and Anti-Smuggling of Migrants. Finally, as mentioned by the Minister, we will try to bring as soon as possible for all workers, irrespective if they are Malaysian workers or foreign workers, to be duly insured under the Malaysian security system, so that there is a better protection for all workers, irrespective from which country they come from. This is actually in due compliance with the International Labour Organization. We are in the process of amending the necessary laws to give effect to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for enlightening and valuable remarks. Now we will take just a few questions from the journalists. Please be very precise when you ask the question. If you do not have any questions, so thank you. This question is for Your Excellency. He wants to ask you that what will be the mechanism or effective implementation of this review, and what will be the status of the existing mechanism that is in practice at the moment? That's what he wants to like.
No, the question you asked, actually after this we are having the technical committee. We will work the specific details of how to implement this MOU and also to take care of those already in existence in my country. So those matters will be worked out after, in the afternoon today. The mechanics see what are the things to be looked into in all respect in the bigger picture. We are now looking at the situation of MOU, a general understanding as to how to send the workers to Malaysia.
अरू एजेन्सी हटाएर गभर्नमेन्ट आफैले काम गरे तर इम्प्लोइ चाहिँ हायर गरेर गभर्नमेन्टले काम गर्ने भनेको छ मलेसियाबाट। अब अहिले एक्जिस्टिङ कम्पनी चाहिँ अहिले तत्काल रहने भने कति समयमा हट्ने नहट्ने कुरा के हो? केही समय अगाडि गृहमन्त्रीले अब हट्छ भन्नुभएको थियो।
भिसा प्रक्रिया पनि के हुन्छ अब क्लियर पार्दैन।
What is the total cost that one worker has to pay for taking jobs in Malaysia? Like since we have been talking about like all the costs have been relieved, so what is the total cost? Is there any estimation around that?
Yes, we have. I think
Yeah.
we have a minute. All that recruitment agents which had happened before, it will be cut off. We are coming with the one of the new changes that we plan to bring is even travel tickets to Malaysia will be paid by the employer. So basically it will be a minimum cost to come to work. Basically, we have rearranged the whole thing. In terms of ringgit, it should not cost more than 505 ringgit for each employee to come from Nepal to Malaysia. For the employee. The rest of it, the employers will pay.
बिचमा यो 4-5 महिना जुन रोकिएको थियो नि मलेसियाको रोजगारीभित्र त्यो बिचमा भएको नोक्सानीहरू चाहिँ कसले बेयर गर्ने? नेपाल सरकारले बेयर गर्छ कि मलेसिया जुन बिचमा पिरियडमा मलेसिया जान रोकिएको छ त्यो खर्चहरू
जाने मेकानिजमको सन्दर्भमा पनि एउटा जिज्ञासा आएको छ। ती सबै कुराहरूलाई सूक्ष्म ढङ्गले टेक्निकल कमिटीले टुङ्गो लगाउनेछ।
पत्रकार साथीहरू हामी